Live from Times Square, the crossroads of the world. It's All Night with Joey Reynolds. I'm Big J Sorensen from 101.1 CBS FM. I'll be on this weekend. From Sirius XM, a world-class stand-up comic, Jackie the Joke Man Martling. Fine-tuning author and speaker, Jane Bernard. From across platforms and media posts, video insider, Michael Kokernak. The YouTube sensation, Big Mike, the kid from Brooklyn. Musical guests, David Wannen and the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players. And Jeffrey Johns and Paper Doll Burlesque. Woohoo! And now, the guy who really topped that new poll of New York's all-time favorite athletes over Babe Ruth, Joe Namath, and even cutie boy Derek Jeter, Joey Reynolds.
We've been watching that ab commercial. That ab thing is, I don't know, you're gonna have a six-pack down here. The only six-pack I have is a Bud.
Yeah, really.
This is not good. Do I look like Mr. Rogers tonight? You know, if he lived, he would wear this sweater, right?
Yeah.
No, this is the kind of outfit that I'm a little bit more casual. Last night I was dressed up, and you know, because I think it should be different every night, so you can fool them.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise the audience is liable to know who I really am.
Really?
Yeah. You know, when you go outside, I got something that I want to share with you. You know, I mean, I have low self-esteem, and with the Joey Reynolds doll, which you probably have seen, I'm going to do something that probably no talk show host in history would ever do. Stick pins in my own doll. This is something that you would never see another guy do this, right?
I don't hear anything.
Huh?
I don't hear you making any noise.
Well, no, I'm not a ventriloquist. I'm a talk show host.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure that nobody. This is an ugly doll anyway, isn't it? Really, this is something that ought to go really with a diet. You'd never have that at your table.
No.
You know, so Charlie Sheen, I wasn't going to talk about him, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about him every day. He's
what now?
booked Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should know that he probably will do some business there.
Sold out in 22 minutes.
Is it
I
sold
hear.
out?
Yeah.
Did it
22
really
minutes,
get out
that's
of
what
here?
I was told. Yeah.
Somebody told you it sold out. Who told you?
Yeah, I heard it on the radio.
It's owned by Madison Square Garden. Why don't they use a bigger room? I mean, if they're going to have a fight, they may as well go someplace. What is he going to do when he comes out there? Is he going to
Who knows?
resign?
No, he's going to tell his story. And
tell his story.
Yeah.
So people are going to pay to go to Radio City Music Hall with the world's largest organ, which is, to some people, different than what I'm talking about. But you know, when you go to Radio City Music Hall, you get to see a show with the Rockettes, right?
I don't, well, he'd have the Rockettes behind, you know, the stage.
No, this is their Easter extravaganza, right? The stage rises and King Kong comes out of there.
That's it. Yep.
It's amazing how the American public can be so fooled by so many foolish things. You know, I mean, we pay for anything. That's how we sell commercials on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
People pay for.
People doing calisthenics.
Yeah, of course. Let me sit down. I'm getting old.
Yeah, please.
Now, you know, one of the things that happened with our show is I got a little bit more comfortable in the last couple of weeks, I would say.
I would say.
And I got more interested in sitting down and being a philosopher. Now, I had an attack. We're going to go to it in a little bit, not just now, but when I was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, instead of being cheerful and joyful and acting, you know, I was with Little Richard and some of the demonstrative people, B.B. King, you know, who has named his guitar Lucille.
Yeah.
I got more serious. I got on the serious side. I all of a sudden became a philosopher. I don't know what happened to me. It was like a Big Mac attack. You know, all of a sudden I got to be...
You're the old philosopher now.
I got to be a guy who wanted to talk seriously in front of a crowd. Yeah. It happens sometimes, you know, like you come out here thinking you're going to do a monologue and be hilariously, interestingly funny.
Yeah.
And then you wind up talking about world affairs, and there's no humor in it. You know, now, for instance, I noticed that Dan is here in the background. Dan's been on the show with us before. He has a glazed look in his eyes, you know. And of course, you know, his humor is dry as a mummy's scrotum. You know, I mean, you got to go a long way to get him to laugh at anything. And the object of this show is to get the guys on the crew because we don't have an audience here to laugh at something.
Well, I can't be the only one that laughs.
Nobody even blinked tonight at anything because I haven't said anything funny.
Nothing.
But I turned into that philosophy mode. You know, all of a sudden you become a philosopher, right?
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about being a philosopher because people start to be like Barbara Walters. You know, they lean forward and fake attention and pretend that they're really interested in what you're saying, you know, one of those things. But this show the other night turned into The View with everybody sitting around here, and we all started to chime in.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I was not asking the questions anymore. Everybody else who was on the panel was asking the questions. I kind of lost control of the show. But tonight was the clincher. I walked around the corner, and my name was not on the marquee here. And that was, you know, that's death. When your ego is that big, you know, and you walk around and you see it all, my name is bigger than anything on these signs here. And tonight, the lights were off on Broadway, you know. They decided that they were going to show financial results, which is not this show. You know, they had,
we are in the NASDAQ building. Yeah.
We're the NASDAQ building, but we don't represent any of the money part of it.
Not
you
at
know.
all.
We're the entertainment part of NASDAQ. You know, we're the clowns with the pants falling down, and they're the ones with the prices falling down.
Right.
But, you know, they have all of these figures on the wall here with the big companies, big corporations, and how miserably they're doing. I don't know how you are in this world equation, but I was figuring something out about the oil I mentioned last night. You know, I talked about that thing with Japanese. I know we live in a double standard, and everybody knows that. So you kind of like realize that as the rest of the world does well, the oil prices go up. If the rest of the world does poorly, the oil prices go up. If somebody farts, the oil prices go up. You know, I mean, there's always some reason for it to go up. In other words, they just want to jack it. And as they're jacking it, because everything is delivered by truck and fuel, everything goes up.
Yes.
Now, my exact complaint, I mean, I know my life is small, and it's not yours. I mean, I don't have the same situations as the average viewer, perhaps. But my life is a simple life, and my cheesecakes have gone up. Because, I mean, you know, I make cheesecakes, and I love people, and I use these graham crackers, which are now over $5 a box. Wow. Because they're delivered. You know, and I want to take those Nabisco elves and stick pins in it like my own doll here. I mean, who are these ridiculous bakers anyway? $5 for a box of crackers.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that something we used to get when we were on welfare, or when you were... during the war, you know, we had armories, and they loaded them up with coffee and nylons, too, you know, if you're in Germany. Yeah. But they loaded them up with peanut butter and flour and sugar, you know, staples, and coffee, right? You got all that in America.
Yeah, that's going up, too.
And you get crackers, graham crackers, remember? Of course, I am a white cracker myself.
Yes, you are.
But this was like $5 a box for a graham cracker. $5 a box. And I'm looking there, and I'm saying, well, maybe I won't be so generous now, you know. The cheesecakes that I make, are you waving to people outside here? Are you stirring up?
They're stirring up
Turn
trouble.
the camera around on Spider-Man. If you're going to be making those signs here,
they don't want to look
you're going
at
to be showing Spider-Man. The crowd that gathers behind me, instead of being here like they are in the Today Show for the host of the show, then we got Spider-Man outside, and really they're watching him more than they are me. But I'm going to go outside on a Reynolds wrap anyway.
Yeah.
But show the crowd around Spider-Man here, because you may as well get it out of your system. I know that you intently are watching him more than you are me while I'm sitting here doing my philosophy. Nobody cares about this.
Maybe you ought to dump the
You're
philosophy.
watching me today? I don't think so. Look at, see that crowd out there? Hi, folks. How are you? Now they're going to wave to me because I'm waving. But they're only waving because they want to be on camera.
That's right.
The hell with me, right?
Yeah.
You don't care about me.
Of course not.
St. Patrick's Day a little early?
Yeah.
You went to IKEA? Yeah. Well, did you see Mamma Mia? Did you see ABBA? Mamma Mia is a place next door to the Ellen's Diner, you know, Stardust Diner. And that, now you talk about bad meatballs.
Yeah.
The Mamma Mia, well, that's Swedish meatballs. You want IKEA? You know,
That's the only Swedish
he does.
word
He
you
has
know,
an
isn't it?
IKEA cap on.
Besides
I
Volvo.
don't, see, what am I paying attention to them for? I'm like not even doing a show anymore.
Do the show.
See, they take you so far away from where you were.
Yeah.
You know what happened? I'm going to just take you outside now with our cameras.
Yeah.
This is, nobody wants to see a host anyway, right? I mean, you want to hear those same 12 jokes that they tell on the monologues on all of these shows?
Yeah, well, I want to see you.
The guy behind the desk and the tie and the suit and the the little flowers, you know, I mean, Good Morning America, they put all the ferns around like, you know, you're a horticulturist. You know, I mean, what people really want to do is they want to see themselves on television. And everybody has a phone, which is a camera. You know, one day someone's going to make a phone that actually is a phone. We're a long way from that. And of course, the word I precedes everything because we're so self-centered. You know, the iPhone, the iPad. I even have an eyeglasses, of course. But I have this, I shouldn't even say this on the air. Do you ever use Preparation Age?
Not when I have. Don't
it's
need
new
to.
and improved. And it's got, you know what you use it for now?
For wrinkles on your face.
No, not for the wrinkles on your face. You're supposed to do that. Really, it does work.
I saw that on Everybody Loves Raymond
Mistakenly,
one time.
I brushed my teeth with it this morning.
God.
And you know, this has been a bad night.
Oh, man.
All right, now are we ready for the Reynolds rap?
I hope so.
All right, here's what happened when we went outside and I joined this flock of geese.
Yes.
Here's what happened. There's a whole crowd of people, but not around me. Look at that crowd. Wait, look at that crowd over there. Look at, there's thousands of people coming that way. All right, now go this way here. This way here. See? Look at all those people coming at us, right? Let's go over there. It looks like there's a herd. There's a feeding. A herd? A herd. There's a herd of folks. They probably look at the. This is my favorite meal, pigeon. We eat them in my neighborhood. Hello, birdies. Come birdies. I'm not exactly St. Francis. Where are you from? Israel? Pakistan. Well, it had to be Pakistan or Israel because I figured you look Palestinian.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yes. You know how I know that? Because I have a daughter that looks like you.
Oh.
So how are you? Hello. Oh, I shouldn't touch you. I'm sorry. I forgot the rules, the Islamic rules. You want to talk to me here, or do you want to hide?
Hi, how you doing?
How are you? What's your name?
My name is Sorensen, Laura.
Hi, I'm Joey. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm the guy that hosts the show that you were looking at. Come on, say hello. Come on, we need two more beautiful girls here. Come on, come over here.
Come over. Say hi.
Stay away from me. I'm a bad guy.
Okay.
What's your name?
Paige Lewis.
What's yours?
Tasha Gauchi.
Hi. Do you know who I am?
No.
You don't have to. It's okay. I'm new.
Okay. Hello. Can I go on the mic?
You can go on the mic.
Yo, 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 yo.
No, wait a minute.
Hi.
You're not a yo-yo.
Okay.
What's your name? Wait. You don't have to grab the mic. I'll put it in front of you. What's your name?
My name is Sharita.
Jarita?
Yes, Sharita.
How do you do? I'm Joey.
Hi,
Pleased to meet
Joey.
you. My hands are freezing.
Where
I
are
know.
we going?
We ain't going nowhere. You're too young for me. Now, the Bangladesh, I touched you. You're not wearing no burqa. No. So this, and you're on a cell phone.
Yes.
Very against Muslim rule.
No.
You're, no?
Not at all.
No? Well, you know what? You're all very beautiful. I want to see your faces on television. I have a TV show that's in that window. No, I do the show that's in here every night.
Oh, we're from Canada.
Well, so what? We're neighbors. You know who? All right, now you know what? The black community. Now let's just talk for a minute about this.
Okay.
Not to make a race card.
Okay, don't point a race car because I can go there. Hello?
I'm not-
Okay. Oh, sorry about
You don't
that.
have to do that. I give you the mic, and I live in Harlem anyway.
Okay.
But I want to say something about this because people don't like to talk about this.
I love it.
But I want to bring this up.
Okay.
Why is it? I have two daughters.
Yes.
My one daughter's name is Mercedes. Now I was creative with that name because it's the only way I was going to have one, honey.
All right. Okay. That creative.
And then the other one is Kristen with a
Okay.
K-R-I, not K-R-E. And so I'm a little creative too, and I live in Harlem, so
Yeah, my mother's real creative with my name.
Well, I know,
How about that?
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Why is it that the black community, urban, how come black people have the better names? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, let me start with because here in America, black people don't have a nationality. So it's a way of identifying ourselves because we have nothing else to come home to. Right, brother? Power to the people.
Is this Gilbert and Sullivan?
Yeah, Gilbert and Sullivan.
Well, what are we doing, the Mikado?
We're doing trial tonight.
So what's your name?
Kimilee. Hi.
Hi, Kimilee, how are you? Who are you?
I'm Andy Stryker-Rodda.
Hello.
I'm Cameron Smith.
We met before.
Yeah, you met me before many.
Oh,
many times.
I know from the voice. And your name is what?
David Wannen.
Why? What does David do?
David is in charge.
No, I mean, do you sleep with him? That's what we want to get the dirt on this.
Only in my dreams.
David?
She's a Broadway star. That's a nice compliment coming from her.
Oh my God. Well, you are too. A Lincoln
No.
Center star.
Yeah, there you go.
Where do you any of you live here in New York? You don't live in New York?
No.
You're all from Pakistan. You're just visiting.
No. We live in Virginia.
Oh.
Yeah, Virginia, yeah.
That's I would rather die. So are you living in Roanoke or
Northern Virginia, close
yeah.
to D.C.
See, I got nothing right. Have you noticed? I got nothing
Yeah.
right. You can tell I'm not a psychic.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So what's the Canadian gas? Do you drive at all?
I do. It's
Yeah.
quite expensive.
How much does it cost?
I don't know, like $1 something.
Would you?
for
How much?
liter. $1 something per liter.
That's all our liters are worth is $1 something. No, I'm talking about the gas on that. No, you know when you have the oil, it's an imperial gallon, right? Isn't that different measurement?
For liters.
Yeah, and it's $1 something, and we're paying $5 here. You know. Yeah, I know you're impressed. I know you feel bad for us. Gee, thanks a lot. Yeah, I love you. You're great. You're great. I love your hair too.
Thank you so
Nice.
much. Oh, what about ours?
No, hers is nice and shiny.
All right, okay. All right, that'll work,
See,
that'll work.
but I want to be more like you. I want to be free.
That's right. You are free. You are. You're one individual.
Ain't it? Let me see you. I want to see your face, and you're hiding from me. Take that phone away. You're not talking to someone in Pakistan, are you? Oh my God.
She's actually not.
I can't pay the minutes. Come over here. Let me see your face. Come on.
Rachel?
I want faces.
Hi. It's my mother on the phone.
I don't believe you. I got 2 daughters. They lie. They text messages. My one daughter's in prison in text messages. No, I'm very. What, Mom?
Yes.
Mom, she's on television in New York. Honest to God, Mom. I mean, praise Allah. So what show are we doing?
Trial by jury tonight.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's the first one they did. You'll be into it. It's the
This is
first
Gilbert
one
and
they did.
Sullivan. I'm so
right.
uncultured.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I'm working on the new Gilbert and Sullivan musical.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Great.
Can we do it?
I changed. It's called Al Qaeda. The early years.
I look forward to the pattern song from
So,
that. You know.
so I'll see you tonight, all right?
Yeah, we'll see you in a
I gotta
couple
go
hours.
inside
Yeah.
and get on my makeup
Oh, very
There you
good.
go.
See you
and my
tonight.
gown
Okay. I have some Spanx if you need to borrow.
from Mikado. I wish they'd stop showing my bald spot. God, that's annoying.
I have one too.
Yeah, but nobody wants to show that. I mean, nobody. The camera's following a guy. Did you ever see Anderson Cooper from the back?
Not.
You'd see all the
I don't-
knives from Larry King.
Ooh.
No, there isn't. There is nobody that they follow around. Geraldo, they never follow around. The camera's always on the guy and the woman. You know, right there.
Yeah.
It's never in the back of the head. Nobody has back of the
Yeah,
head
so
shots.
nobody
except,
wants to see his
except
head.
banks.
Nobody wants to see
when
the
they're
bank.
when they're trying to find out who robbed them.
That's it.
Yeah, my people. When we were in Lakewood, Jay and I, we had a radio station in Lakewood, New Jersey.
When we were in Lakewood,
Yeah.
it's like we were playing the Strand Theater or something.
Well, no, I opened up a radio station there that
yeah.
was a daytime only operation.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
38 years ago.
I wanted to kick WABC's ass,
Yeah.
and I brought a donkey.
And yeah, he came into town on a donkey, and that is the real story. He rode a donkey into town.
And what did it say on the sign?
I don't want to say.
It says, "I don't listen to WHLW, and you know what I am." Right?
That's right.
And the people were appalled.
Well, they were, but people still remember it.
It was
38 years later.
1976.
It's 3.
God, was it?
3.
Well, no.
Yes.
Yeah? Was it that long ago?
I have a good memory, Joe.
I know you do. It's too bad. Remind me not to have you here. All right, now, you know, when I got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
there was a very strange turn because everybody was funny and joking, and you know, we all were happy to see Little Richard was crying so much his makeup ran all the way down to his shoe. But it was a great night, and I got serious. I don't know why. You know, It turned me into some sort of a syrupy guy.
Because everybody else was acting out, you figured you'd be the straight man.
I don't know. Something hit me, and they called my name, and I all of a sudden went state's witness.
Because it's like the deer in headlights.
I was stunned.
Yes.
So we have a tape of it.
Whoa.
Of the package.
Excellent.
When the package arrived.
Yeah, well, they just inducted Neil Diamond the other night.
Yeah, but he ain't a jock.
Well, no, but I'm saying they finally got him in. But no, there aren't too many disc jockeys in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right, so let's. You want to see the thing here?
I can't wait.
All right, here. This is what happened when I went state's witness on the Rock Hall of Fame. Here's how I got.
I do a talk show. I'm at a loss for words. I want to thank everybody very much for putting up with me all these years. I too am a survivor, and it's been just so many wonderful things have happened, especially this year now that I have gotten on the other side of service in the industry and for our world. It's very interesting to start out as a shock jock and then end up being somewhat mild. And I know I'm taking a little more time than I should, but I wanted to say that there have been so many people in this room who have done so much for so many years to help everybody in the communities in all the cities we live in, and have always been on that side of being givers. And I recently did a telethon and radiothon with cousin Bruce Morrow, and I told him last night, and I wanted to speak from the heart for a moment here, that it's such a great pleasure to be doing this kind of work, because this is the satisfaction, and the self-will run riot didn't work so much for me, although it gives you all the glory and all of the fame. But the thing that really works is to be able to feel good about myself in conscience when I get up in the morning, go to bed after I get off the air at 5 in the morning. So thank you very much for a wonderful life so far, and it isn't over. And I love you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. It was very humbling, very lovely. Brucey looked like he was waiting for you to say something outrageous. Like his eyes were like, oh, what's he going to do now?
I did that at lunch. So it was good.
I like that. It was to the point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, the mistake on the lake.
Cleveland
they call
rocks.
it. That's their biggest mistake.
Yeah, right.
But you know, Les Paul did. See, there was a display, and you could listen to my shows. Mm-hmm. You push the button and hear my shows.
Right.
And, I was with Les every week at the Iridium.
Right.
And Les got up and told me that he was going to bump me and donate all of his guitars to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And they would knock that display down where I was. And I laughed about it.
Yeah.
And, he really did do that. And then I was down to a little shelf.
Well, that's okay.
But he certainly was, he invented the electric guitar.
Absolutely.
And I think, having the stripes he had, it was okay.
But the fact that you're in there is a real honor.
I was going to hang there, personally, just in real life.
Just right. Just be a display.
But it's been good. I mean, it's all good. It's a very interesting world when you have a little bit off of the mainstream honor.
Yeah.
Because the mainstream honors, they're big. Mm-hmm. And I always said that I'm never afraid of someone at my door with a cannon, because I know that they're going to aim that thing. I know where it is. It's big, and it'll knock me and everybody else over. Mm-hmm. It's the termites.
Ah, yes.
The termites that ruin the building. They're in the fiber. Mm-hmm. And what ruins people's careers is those little termites that keep eating away at everything, not the big ones. Mm-hmm. You could have I hate to say it this way, you could have a nuclear explosion, and what that is. I mean, it impacts everybody, but when there's termites in something, you don't know where it's coming from, and all of a sudden you look around and you're like a cartoon.
Yeah, really.
I'll be standing outside there with Spider-Man. All right, we're going to be right out with Jackie the Joke Man.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple of jokes he can't tell. So I'll be telling them for him. And we'll be right back.
I can't marry you right now. It was my full intention to come on Joey's show and comment on his entire monologue. But I was speaking to Kiki, and I have no idea what Joey said. So let's just go in there and whatever happens.
When New York celebrities have something to say, they head for the stoop.
This is my stoop. I gotta come to the stoop.
Talk Stoop.
I feel like we're so close that we could kiss. This is a whole other kind of stoop.
It's where Cat Greenleaf gets people talking.
What? Really?
Yep.
That's amazing. Yes. Listen, Naked. Do you mind if I call you Naked? Tell me something good.
The best of New York on a stoop in Brooklyn.
The celebrity butts that have graced the stoop.
Talk Stoop, weeknights at 8 on New York Nonstop. Sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
I'm an anchor and a pilot.
I am passionate about chocolate.
I am a ballerina.
I'm the daughter of a jazz musician.
I am a 4-time New York Golden Glove champion.
I'm my grandpa. Yeah,
I'm interested in the story behind the story.
I'm making this look natural.
I am glamorous.
I'm an anchor and a blues girl.
I am all about my craft.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I'm a New Yorker.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I recommend a steak.
This place is I recommend this place.
We're all about New Yorkers. LX New York. It's the story of the moment. A taste of the best. It's opening night. A helping hand. The characters of New York. The spirit of New York. Told our way. LX New York. Weekdays at 5. We're all over town.
Scary to walk around the corner and not see your name on the bill on the billboard.
I probably would have gotten back in the car.
I felt like home. Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, really.
You know, I mean,
all of a sudden, one
do
day.
I mention these guys every night? You know why?
Tell me.
Because they love being popular and famous.
Well.
And Charlie Sheen and
loves it
Conan
too.
O'Brien, it's like an addiction to be noticed and to be famous and to be in the spotlight.
Very much unlike you.
Yeah, I know. Here's Jackie the Joke Man. He's coming out here.
Jackie.
Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
People leaving the theater, they're waving.
Beyond the sea.
They're all waving.
On the ocean floor.
Hi, folks. How are you?
They're waving to me. They don't know you.
They don't know. How you doing, Jack?
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Hi.
How are you?
They went to see Anything Goes.
Oh, Danny boy.
Cole Porter musical.
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a Cole Porter.
It's letting out. Tonight was a free night. Tonight was a preview night. You know,
oh, I thought you meant for us, because every time I have ever done anything for you on radio or television, it's been free. I was going to say, what is the big announcement?
Well, you're a fake. I mean, what are you talking about? You were sponsored by Heineken's and you put water in the beer bottle because you weren't drinking anymore. So don't give me that crap.
Am I caught? So, guys, and meanwhile, I'm trying to hook them as a sponsor for the new things I'm doing, and you just sandbagged everything.
Nice, Joey. Nice.
So it's Sunday morning.
Wait. Before you do that, it's one of your jokes. I'm still laughing 3 days later about the camel and the elephant. We can't tell.
You don't tell the audience what you. Hey, here's a great one I can't tell you. You don't do that. That's a comedy no-no.
Why? The audience doesn't have to know everything.
If they
know
email
nothing
me,
now, they watch CNN.
Jackie@jokeland.com, you will get the email with such elephant and camel joke.
That elephant and camel joke is the best. Do you like it?
I love it. Okay, here you go.
What?
There's a knock on the door. There's a knock on the door. See where my head is? You got 4 beautiful girls on the show tonight.
That's where your head is.
Oh my God, they're beautiful. So the guy's sitting alone on a Sunday morning. There's a knock on the door. He answers the door, and the guy says, "Hello." I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and I have stories to tell you. The guy says, well, come on in. They walk in, and he says, have a seat. And Jehovah's Witness sits in the living room. He says, I'll get you a cup of coffee. He gets him a cup of coffee, he brings it over, and he says to the Jehovah's Witness, now, what are these stories you have to tell me? And the Jehovah's Witness says, Jesus, I don't know. I never got this far before. Is that a great story?
That's a good one.
I am so excited. Reynolds, I'm in a movie. Not only am I in a movie, I thought I had 5 words, and I went to the premiere on Thursday night. I have 6 words. There's another word at the end. I can't tell you what I play because that's a surprise in the movie, because it's a very serious movie. And then Jackie the Joke Man walks out in a serious getup.
This is not,
and
the,
everybody goes,
not the Aristocats.
No, the Aristocrats. This is called White Irish Drinkers. It's a John Gray movie produced by my good friend Paul Bernard, Melissa Peltier, and James Skura. I'm saying the names. It's got Peter Riegert from Animal House, Karen Allen from Animal House and Indiana Jones, and Stephen Lang from Avatar. It's an amazing movie. It was in the Toronto Film Festival. They've got a 4-city release. And I mean, I have a tiny, tiny role, but I'm an actual, real, great White Irish Drinkers, which, as you know, is a double oxymoron. And it's opening in New York and Boston and Los Angeles and Toronto, March 25th. Please go see this movie. It is so great. And I'm so proud, and those people are so great. And I don't mean to be a walking plug, but you guys, I got a big laugh with the Jehovah's Witness, so.
Yeah, got to give him something.
And the elephant joke.
Oh, yeah, the elephant
How
joke.
dare you do that? So I was going to comment on your whole monologue. I thought it'd be really funny to watch Joey's monologue and then come in. And I was talking to the girls the whole time. I missed the whole thing. I know it was you. I saw you.
I got philosophical.
You would.
You know, I showed the footage from the induction in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was philosophical
Congratulations.
about it. Yes. It got syrupy.
Well, you know what it means. It means you're old. 4,000 years ago, they were still trying to arm wrestle each other to get somebody to take the spade and break the ground, and they finally did it. I mean, I was in Cleveland 20 times when they said it's going to be there. No, it's going to be there. It's going to be, So it's finally there.
Well, I'm from the other mistake on the lake, Buffalo.
Oh.
You know, and then there's Chicago. Of course, you know, the one's on Lake Inferior, and the other one is on the Finger Lake.
I am rolling again. I have a show in Chicago in Merrillville, Indiana, which is just outside of Chicago, at the Star Plaza Theater, a 3,000-seater. I'm rolling again. I got a gig in Baltimore the night before Memorial Day, Baltimore Comedy Factory. I'm like, I don't know what happened. You know what it is? Sirius XM is playing the hell out of my CDs on the 2 uncensored channels. And there's a lot of people hearing me that never even knew, they knew I was on the Stern Show, but they never took my act for being funny. I was like, who's that guy telling jokes?
Sure they did. What are you talking about? You were in all the magazines. And
but people love the jokes because they
these
can
people
walk
are
out.
waiting to hear one now. They're standing right outside waiting.
They hear the jokes and they can get out of the car and tell them.
Here, come on, turn around, play to your audience there. Let them. You may as well do it. I mean, you know, while we have the weather.
I love you. I love you. Come on, everybody. Come on. Here we go. Come on.
They're waiting for a joke.
No, they're waiting for lights.
Next time I come here, I'm going to have some jokes on cue cards and we'll hold them up.
Yeah.
I was talking to Joe. Oh, I'll write something dirty. Let me have.
Talking to Joe Valenti, the director.
Joe Valenti. I'm going to do some jokes. We're going to do some jokes to roll in at some point.
Oh,
Did you ever hear of an ID10T problem?
No.
This guy, I can't believe at my age, 51 years old, I never heard this before. I was talking to my computer guy. He came over. He's a brilliant guy. And I was trying to explain, look at this is what's wrong, and how come I can't do this? He goes, it's an ID10T problem.
What's that?
I said, what do you mean? It's an ID?
Yeah. 10T.
It's an ID10T problem.
Idiots.
How do we get this old and never see that before?
That's good.
They don't speak English. Don't worry. You got an international crowd. Thanks. Put an arrow on there pointing to me.
I did.
Just in case you wonder what the visual was here.
So life is pretty wonderful.
Life is great.
The show's still going.
LG. Life is good. You know LG, all the products in here, they got sued for LG because Life is Good was a company brand, a trademark. And we have all this LG equipment, and I kept wearing the shirt thinking I'm impressing the sponsor. Life is Good.
And you were actually doing exactly
the opposite. I was
but
rubbing
if you're promoting it, you're promoting it.
It's like putting water in Heinekens.
You know what's really funny? A guy came out, this company that I did the gadgets for.
Right.
The Jackie's Joke gadgets for the
Right.
kids and the adults. They came out with this Forever flashlight, okay? And they came up with the logo that was Forever flashlight, and there was already somebody that had that
trademark,
right?
Yeah.
And like, what were the odds? Because not to be lewd, but it was a thing that you shook up, and it made the flashlight. But they did a search on it anyway, and the idiot lawyer that did it for the other company, there was a big F, and then it said, Forever flashlight. So when they wrote it in, the guy had
already done it.
The guy had gotten the qualifications for Forever flashlight.
No.
So they got Forever flashlight. They said, no, you can have Forever flashlight. What are the odds?
Yeah, really. How did that happen?
That's funny.
Well, we don't always get it right, do we?
No.
Look
I mean,
at me.
sometimes you'll be turned down for an important job, like I have been. Other times you lose an important job, and then another time you probably will have blown a job where you could have made.
They come and go.
Yeah, you could have made
come.
$500,000 on that last job that you had.
What job was that?
The one with Howard. It was really stupid.
I could have made $500,000 a week.
I know. And you turned it down because it wasn't enough.
You know why, Joey? I had other bridges to burn.
I'm going to tell people what you've done with your money. He's been sending it to Bernie Madoff. He wants to help the guy.
Yeah, but I'm so stupid, I've been sending it to him while he's in prison. That's how stupid I am. I waited until he lost those, man. I'm saying, Bernie, there's another package from Martling here. It's green and it's huge. Open it up. It's St. Patrick's Day very soon. I have no St. Patrick's Day. How do you know the Irish guy in the hospital ward?
How?
He's the one blowing the foam off his bedpan. Can we say that on television?
Can we say it on television?
Can we say that on television?
Can we fight off the email?
I don't care.
He doesn't care.
Next thing you know, people are going to say, the Irish people, you're trying to intimate that the Irish people drink?
No.
They're not paying attention.
Well, the mayor got in trouble for that.
Oh, everybody gets in trouble for everything.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's not right. I mean, there's no stand-up anymore.
Thank God Jehovah's Witnesses don't have electricity. You're not going to get an email from them. What's this?
Those are the Amish.
What's this? Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, bang!
What?
Clip clop.
What?
That's an Amish drive-by shooting.
They don't have TVs out in Pennsylvania.
Man.
Oh, thank God. So what else is new? I have a great email list. I have a war going on with a woman that calls us Stern. Not a war. She's a beautiful woman named Mary Ann from Brooklyn. And she called up my radio show the other day. I have a radio show on Sirius XM, 7 p.m. Tuesday nights on Howard 101. He's my friend. I have a show on his channel, so don't listen to Reynolds. And Mary Ann called up and said, I got more Twitter people than you, Jackie. And I'm not even thinking. I said, I'll have as many as you in a week. And of course, the next day, the Stern News called me up and says, what is this battle with Mary Ann? I'm like, geez, I forget where I am. So I did a whole thing. I emailed and begged everybody to go on my Twitter. I got like 4 more people.
That's it, yeah.
So she's killing me, like 6,000 to 2,000 or something. But if you want to help me, go on J Marlow, J-M-A-R-L-O-W, J Marlow. That's my Twitter name. And I don't know if I could say that. Do you want to hear my Howard Stern, Charlie Sheen joke?
Go ahead, try.
What do you get when you cross Charlie Sheen with Howard Stern?
What?
2.5 inches. You can say that.
Yeah,
Nobody knows what that
it's
meant,
fine.
right?
No, it's very innocuous.
Some might.
Nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows anything.
There's always an FCC commissioner
stop
who
it.
understands.
He's
what
probably Irish and he's drinking. If we're going to get in trouble, we might as well go right across the board. These girls are so beautiful. I'm trying to think of the name of the group. What is
We're
it?
going to bring them out. in a little
Paradise
bit.
Lost? What
No,
are they
they're
called?
the Paper Doll
The
Burlesque.
Paper Dolls.
Yeah.
Paper Doll Productions.
Yeah.
All right,
Beautiful.
So who's coming out next? Who we got next?
Kokernak.
Yes.
Who is it?
Michael Kokernak.
Oh, yeah, Michael's coming out. He's brilliant.
Am I kicked out already?
No, you're going to sit here and you're going to have to take it.
I love this show. Now I'm going to do jokes with Joe and
No,
Binky.
wait, don't
I'm gonna sit
imply
with-
that I don't like Howard Stern.
Oh,
You
I was
imply
teasing.
that-
I was
yeah.
teasing.
No, don't
Shut
do that,
up.
because I just finally made up with him, and now we're going to have...
No, I heard you guys
know.
ran into each other at Rails.
Yeah,
We
so
just talking about it today.
I mean, he was ragging on me, but he did it mercifully.
No, he loved you.
Mercifully.
Jokeland.com if you want to see some funny stuff. Jokeland.com. Listen to me. I never shut up. I don't care. I don't care. White Irish drinkers. Here we go. You know, it's so embarrassing. This movie is so heavy, and it's a Irish family, and it's dysfunctional squared or cubed. You know, everything is so crazy and so crazy. And all of a sudden, I come walking out. Did you ever go to a movie that had Fred Gwynn in it? Yes. Like, you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, Fred Gwynn is in a very serious role. He comes walking out, and the entire audience goes, Hyman! 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 I remember he was a lawyer. Hyman wrecked the whole movie.
That's funny.
All right, we're gonna have to go away for a bit. You know
Just for a
that,
second.
right?
I saw Ron Alexenberg backstage.
We're
We're
going
very
away for
like
a bit.
Wiles
We're going away.
facsimile.
We're going to do 2 to 5 minutes.
Oh.
Be right back.
That's
And
not
Ron
funny in this
Luxemburg-
gang.
Ron Luxemburg is one of the producers of the show.
That's what he keeps telling me. He
And
told me he was all of them.
And he didn't think you were funny.
He told me that he was Tony Orlando's father.
Well, you know, Tony tried to commit suicide, right?
That was a long time ago.
If Ron Alexenberg was your father, what would you do?
Oh, man.
He did not.
Yes, he did. Tony was going to jump off one of his shoes.
Long time
Oh,
ago.
see, I walk. Why do you let me
We'll
talk
be right
to Joey
back
Reynolds?
after a little pause for regrouping.
To see if we have any sponsors.
I'm Elizabeth Hasselbeck. If you're like me, you probably don't have a lot of free time to exercise and keep yourself in shape. For me, the answer is the Ab Glider from Proform. I can't tell you how much I love this amazing machine. It's a great fat-burning cardio workout too, and it's fun.
Unlike other ab machines, the Ab Glider combines circular and crunch motions for a fast, fun workout of your entire midsection. You engage more muscles, get a better cardio workout, and burn twice the calories of other ab machines.
I went from an 11 to a size 4. 20 inches total. It's really easy and it's fun.
With this offer, you'll get an onboard workout computer, Elizabeth's 3-minute rapid results DVD, and her amazing abs instructional DVD, plus her amazing abs eating guide, a $159 value, free. Try the Ab Glider now for 30 days, risk-free for as little as $14.95. If you're not totally satisfied, you can return it for a full refund.
You can't find a better way to get better abs at a better price. And getting started is easy. Just call or go online to proform.com.
Are you holding the remote right now? It's nice to be in control, isn't it? To fast forward to the good parts. Oh, hold on. We're getting to the good part. If you're receiving a structured settlement from a lawsuit, you know it is not easy to wait for payments, especially when it could be 10 or 20 years before you collect all your money. What you may not know is that you can skip ahead and receive a lump sum of cash now. Call CBC Settlement Funding for a free, no-obligation offer about your structured settlement. Whether you access all or just a portion of your future payments, we put you in control so you can fast forward and collect your money now. If you need cash now, call the number on your screen and find out how CBC Settlement Funding can help. We'll guide you through the process so you can take control of your finances and get your money faster. Call CBC Settlement Funding today.
If you have a wife like I do, or did, I did, not now.
How can I be on the show from over here?
I don't know. She was someone who did a lot of shopping on television. You know, I woke up in the middle of the night, she'd be there delirious with a couple of channel changers in her hand and on the floor and with the phone and ordering all kinds of things.
And what would she tell you? The same thing Nancy would tell me, don't worry, it's all returnable.
That's right.
And then there's 10,000 boxes in the other room that are going to get returned eventually.
And here's a guy who was a victim because he shoveled it all out. Michael Kokernak is here tonight. Michael, come on out here this morning. I hope to get some home shopping tips. You know, I mean, it's not the reason he's here, but we may as well learn.
And
we'll learn. Hi, Michael.
Hello, my friend.
Jackie the joke man.
Just Jackie Martling is fine.
Yeah, I know. He wants to
51 years old. I should drop the nicknames by now, right?
Trying to be an adult.
Hi.
So, Michael, what did you do with home shopping? Was it home shopping or QVC?
A couple of things. For Home Shopping Networks, I did on air at the beginning down on the 82nd floor of the Empire State Building doing on air. And I always was like fascinated with the connection between a live audience and then also like actually what it would generate for phone calls and for sales. And I always felt that like as a host that there was, you just kind of know and can feel the audience even if you don't have the Nielsen results right there. So from there I really transitioned into understanding, we're looking at interactive TV and then also looking at the future of television. This is 1998.
Yeah.
And I actually founded a company that we invented, I feel, that you can click from over the air and get an emailed coupon directly from news or from a regular TV station. It was up in the test in 4 states, and now it's on cable in Montgomery. And
so what do? You print a copy of it on your printer?
Could go to your mobile phone, could go to your iPad, that directly from either over the air or
But you don't walk into a store and whip out your phone with a coupon like this and say,
you could, in the future you will. There'll be no reason to have paper when it's in the...
Could be like the actual, one of those little...
Sure. Yeah. And that's the way, you know, and you know, we presented a few years ago in front of a lot of the, and I have I'm still a shareholder in the company, but I'm no longer running the company. I left the company and I started cross platforms and write for some of the trade magazines.
Yeah.
But it was weird because just a few years ago, the advertisers really didn't even really understand like any of the terminology related to what's happening with the iPad and what's happening with tablet and mobile. So it's been very gratifying, I think, and I also know that you're a technology person, that you really study it. It's been gratifying to see that the industry's finally starting to come around.
Well, I think the reason we're doing the show is to create a triple platform. What you used to be able to accomplish with one ad, you now need 3 different platforms, or 2 at least. The radio, the television, and the internet, I think, are a good match for broad demographics. You know, I'm looking to be appealing to more than one crowd.
Right.
If you want just one crowd, you don't sit here in a window in Times Square.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think the way the TV is going to really evolve, I think number one, first of all, content is king. Content is it. And then I think that you'll see a lot of and you take a look just from your own company as far as on NBC being purchased by Comcast, really, if that's not an endorsement, that content is actually really starting to take center stage in the United States. I don't know what is.
Well, there's another word that precedes it these days, too, and that is an alternative content. Because there's so much of a menu, you really want to create something that's not there rather than replicate.
Right.
Well, for instance, I mean, with respect, I'm not saying it to be anything other than respectful. I do a lot of thinking about this. I don't see any difference between Jay Leno and Jon Stewart.
Right.
Because they're both desk and chair shows with 12 writers or 10. And they do the monologue and they have a suit and tie and they do the boogie. You know, I mean, it's the same format that was created at the very beginning with Steve Allen and more so Johnny Carson, maybe.
And I agree with you completely on that because how I see the industry really evolving, and it's really starting to rapidly evolve, is that you take that experience, say that Jon Stewart experience, and now because of the tablet and the mobile, within the next few years, and Nielsen's doing some tests with this now, is that you'll actually be able to have different programming running on the iPad at the same time that the main show or the main event is running on TV, and then a different experience on mobile. So you have things like location-based advertising that's out there right now, and these are really just the beginning of a sea change that television content is, I feel, going to take front and center back in the investment community for all the changes that are occurring. So I agree with you on the desk show is going to really pretty rapidly evolve.
Yeah, I mean, like here, we're using this desk. I never was too crazy about this thing anyway. This is like a sports desk or a news desk. I don't have to have it. But, you know, you got to have some form until something else comes along. And we're trying to figure out how to do this. So I called one of my friends today, Greg Ercolino, who built Nike Town. I mean, he's a terrific imaginative guy. I'm real open to things. And
I've seen your show where you talk about over-the-air broadcast, and you've mentioned it before. So I was really, that really had me excited to come on the show.
Well, thank you for that.
You're not open to anything.
Well, I'm open to some things.
What about my seesaw idea?
No, I don't like that. But you know what I want to do with the
person who's up talks, and then the person in.
Yeah, we know that. I've been on that.
Okay.
The thing that I wanted to get across to the public is not so much that I'm wonderful, because that's something that that's more ego, but rather that it's wonderful, and if we embrace that which we, let me say it this way. I learned that if you don't like something, if you have a disdain for it, in 2 years you become it. It seems to be that way. You attract it.
Right.
It's a negative thing. I don't know why, but it seems to go that way with human nature.
We become what we mock.
Yeah, you become. If you hate something, you're going to become that in a couple of years for some reason, unless you get off it.
Right.
And I like presenting ideas on the air. And I mentioned Les Paul, and Jackie's been with Les a lot of times at the Iridium too. We're good friends, and Les passed away last year. But he was a father to me of invention. And I learned so much from him, and there was a hologram of him at the Empire Hotel in the early days, before they moved the Iridium to 50th Street and Ellen's Diner downstairs. But in that hallway was a hologram of Les Paul, and you could walk around it like in Disney, that thing when you go through the horror house, what do you call the thing? I guess that's not the right word.
The horror hotel?
No, the what's that ride that you have through Disney where you see the holograms?
Oh, Pirates of the
No, not Pirates.
It's the hotel where you drop.
The other one. Yeah, but I forget the name of it. Anyway, I haven't gone to one.
Tower of Terror.
Thank you.
Beacon.
Tower of Terror.
Rod
But this hologram, I called Joe Valenti, our director, today, and I said, I want to put that in the window here because that's the beginning. I don't want to do shrubberies like Good Morning America, which is a block away from here. I mean, we don't need to have a tree growing here. But we got to do something.
Right.
And it's not, behind us is the whole world with the Times Square. That's good. I mean, it's motion. You notice that they're behind me. We're not facing them. And God knows what signs they're making, but they're behind me. And I think in this generation, we're voyeurs. And voyeurism is participation.
Right.
And I think in watching things that move and in being a part of it, it's not only just the interaction on the internet. It's a lot of different things we haven't thought of yet.
Correct. I completely agree with you. And I look at as far as talking about NBC and Comcast, and the way I see it is that traditionally in the TV industry you look at these gatekeepers. I know everyone's always said it's impossible to get on television because there's just a few networks and just a few gatekeepers. But I think that what you see, and what really excites me, is you see that with the tablet integration that Comcast has done, where you can actually change the channel, that you're seeing that hundreds of thousands, there's 320,000 apps on the iPad right now, is that hundreds of thousands of performers will be able to create an experience that can tie into the big show that's on television. And we're actually seeing this happen today. We just don't have any way to really talk about it, how you're describing it, that in the industry that we're just now within this sea change. And if you take a look at how long is it going to take for the industry to convert, well, there's about 20,000 households in the United States that are Nielsen households. And Nielsen has done a tremendous job as far as on the ratings up until now. Well, it's probably still will. But now all you really need is maybe 100,000 households, 500,000 households, 1 million households to start to give those inputs into the interaction into the big show to actually really tell producers on how to change it.
To get noticed. To hit the threshold.
But to really start to give that feedback, the reason why I got into this business in the first place, when I was up on the Empire State Building, was to try to understand how that feeling was that a really good performer can get to know their audience exactly when they're going to engage. And so far, TV's missed it.
Yeah.
To date, but it's starting to happen right now.
Yeah, and I'm sensitive to that. Very sensitive to it.
Every performer that's been around that's worth his salt, I'm sure you're the same way, knows what that feeling is.
Yeah, I know when I lose them too. Isn't that funny?
I used to work with a home shopping host, and he could literally put his hand up in the air and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 100 phones would light up. And he knew exactly when the audience was going to engage.
You feel it. You feel it. I don't know why. It's electronic, and you shouldn't, I guess, unless you're Kreskin, you know.
And so and I saw him in Boston. I saw him on the show last week, I think down here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when I fumbled a trick for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to call it a trick. I mean, a bit.
You have to edit this part out. No, just kidding.
No, it's all right.
So look at you look at high definition television. The high definition television is really getting into where you can see the tears in the eyes, or you can see the perspiration on the skin. So that emotional connection that performers have to actually the audience is going to just grow over the next few years, especially as you start to have interactive. So I say it's really the age of television and content, and it's really going to be free from walls. People talk about things are going to go to the internet, things going to the internet. I really look at that as almost like an out-of-date idea, that it doesn't have to go to the internet. It can stay on TV. I am personally a huge fan of over-the-air broadcast. I've always been a fan of over-the-air broadcast. And I think that it's really going into content and those people that can produce it well. And it's really difficult, I'm sure, to produce content every single night, to get up and...
Well, you have to like people. If you do this, you know, I mean, this is not, I don't have to play an instrument or sing or be highly amusing. You know, I mean, if I have to be funny,
You're really good at doing that.
Yeah, if I am, I'm terrific at it. You don't have to do anything.
No, but what you said about, you know, being able to see when somebody's crying or frowning, I mean, the wall of phoniness is going to be lost, you know, with HD. And it's like, so people are going to know when you're worried, when you're doing well, when you're not doing well. And that adds that whole new dimension, you know, as opposed to everything is.
Well, Jackie doesn't know the difference between HD and ADD. So
what we're talking about?
And my feeling for the long, if you take a look 10 years out or 15 years out, and it really, especially with the NBC Comcast deal, it shows that it's really all about the content. And I firmly believe that there'll be software programming embedded within the content. So as you're watching it in your house or on, I happen to have 9 set-top boxes. I have 11 monitors. I monitor everything, and I see that as that content goes on the refrigerator or it goes on the nightstand or it goes into your mobile hand or your iPad, that the content actually is the conduit to the software, and then so it actually will know walls. And I think that that's within this decade. I think that you'll see that actually become prevalent.
I like that piece you wrote on the over-the-air. I think it's great, and I happened to overhear the FCC commissioner last year at the Consumer Electronics Show talking to Gary Shapiro, who's the Consumer Electronics Association chairperson, and they were having a private conversation about emergency broadcasts, which is 1.5 years ago.
Right.
And now, you know, when Egypt struck with the revolution, all the power was cut for the people because they did not have any longer over the air. They had only cable to rely on. The cable is the internet, and the internet was down. So they didn't have that. If they had over the air like we do here, we have an alternative here. That's why it's important to keep AM, FM, and mobile phones are over the air, and so is this television station.
Well, the crazy thing about the over the air, and everyone talking about giving back the over the air spectrum, which means to some of the people in the audience is that you have free over the air signals now, and there's a discussion down in Washington to actually start to sell back some of the over the air spectrum to mobile carriers. But the thing is that for all of us who've been in this business forever, is that it took so long to come up with the standards for digital television and to convert the United States that right on the dawn that it's actually converted into digital, I don't know why the industry would go in and want to actually give anything back before they know how to use it.
Because they are afraid. False evidence assumed real. F-E-A-R, fear. False evidence assumed real.
And I think for working in a broadcast TV station, the difficult thing is that you have the engineering, you have the production, you have the ad sales, you have the researcher, you have the general manager, and you have the talent, and that each of those disciplines are very difficult to become good at. Yeah. So it's very difficult to cross-pollinate ideas on how to actually change the medium. So I think once we start to actually, and the terminology right now, the language, it's not even terminology, the language is the language of Nielsen. And once other new languages are introduced, people will be less afraid to change the medium. But I am absolutely think it's like a dream come true. I've been studying it for about 20 years, so for me.
I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah,
Thank you. All right, we're going to go because we got to do some other things here. That's another one of these great disciplines over here is to shut up and play the commercials.
What he's saying
Coming
is
up
it's
is David
time for the broads.
Wannen and Gilbert and Sullivan players. You know, I suppose you remember that.
Yeah.
From the establishment being lampooned in England, the Gilbert and Sullivan operettas. They are alive and well in New York at the Lincoln Center, especially. We'll be right back with that.
Great.
Hi, my name is David Wannen, and we are the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players. We are thrilled to be on Joey Reynolds' show for about the 4th year in a row and the first time on camera. We have a show this Sunday at Symphony Space at 95th Street and Broadway. It's called Trial by Jury, and we're going to give you a taste of it tonight. Everybody wave hi. Hi, Joey. Hi, Joey. Hi, Joey.
Hi, I'm Howard Dvorkin, the founder of Consolidated Credit. For almost 2 decades, Consolidated Credit has helped millions of Americans just like you. We've helped nurses and doctors. We've helped police officers and firefighters. We've helped homemakers and home builders. We've helped over 5 million people suffering from credit card debt. And now we want to help you.
Consolidated Credit is the one company you can trust. Our exclusive Freedom Quest program can help you find options and solutions to your financial challenges. We can reduce your monthly payments by up to 50%, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, save you thousands in interest and fees, and help you get out of debt fast.
When credit card debt is the problem, we're the solution. We've helped over 5 million people. Let us help you.
You're one call away from financial freedom.
Call Consolidated Credit now. 1-800-440-2181. 1-800-440-2181.
Hi, I'm Joey Reynolds. I got a brand new show. It starts on television after about 14 years on radio on NBC's New York Nonstop. It's called All Night. That's when we're on. Between midnight and 2, Monday through Friday. And what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC desktops and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
Before you got married?
You're on the air, you know.
Oh,
you're squealing about all these girls on the air. They're sticking pins in my doll. I mean, David Wannen is here. Now, David, you have been, as you mentioned, you've been on the show a few times with me through the years.
About 4 years in a row.
On the radio.
Yeah, on the radio.
And, you know, you always have a better voice than me, so I don't like it. Now we see that you're better looking, so this is your last appearance. You're done.
We're going to go out with a bang.
Yes, you are. You're done.
Yeah.
No, it's wonderful. I think you keep something alive that most people maybe in the pop culture wouldn't think of necessarily. How about that?
Right.
But what it is you have a passion for parody.
Mm-hmm.
And the parody was best done with probably during the Shakespearean years, Elizabethan 15th century.
Started on a very high level. With
and the audience would throw fruit.
Sure.
If they didn't like the show, or vegetables, right? Whatever they had in a basket, right?
Yep.
And you would wear dinner.
Right.
But years
As
later,
a performer.
the royalties started to pay for entertainment.
That's right.
Right?
Because they realized it was good.
A pope or a king.
Kings,
and
queens.
And they would, to their pleasure, they would have whatever they wanted. If it didn't work for them, then you were done anyway, right? You didn't get the booking again. It's like Vegas.
It's all about getting the booking.
Right. So now you started as a young man in Gilbert and Sullivan operettas, is that it? Or did you begin somewhere else?
Well, I was 3 years old when I saw my first. I saw Kevin Kline and Linda Roudstant do the 1981 Pirates of Penzance. It was my first movie I saw in the theater. Yeah. And then I saw Mikado when I was 5.
Yeah, that's the Japanese one.
That's the Japanese one.
Yeah.
And I came in with this company when I was about out of music school, out of voice performance and all that, when I was about 24, 25.
Yeah.
And I've been with it ever since. And
now that you're 30-something.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's this thing now? What is this? This is a
this
trial
is trial by jury.
Trial by jury.
And this is very Joey Reynolds.
Yeah.
It's back when they used to have a law that you could sue your fiancé if they decided not to marry you. It's called a breach of promise law, breach of promise of marriage. And our lead girl over there, Kimilee, her role, Angelina, is suing the defendant because he's a no good for nothing and he has decided to not marry her. And it's the farce and the craziness that ensues from that.
Or so to speak.
That's right.
Oh, so you're going to do this little...
Now, I'm the usher. I'm the silence in court, the one that's handling it. And he's saying that we have to try this trial bias-free, free of bias. And of course, he's in love with Angelina, so it's anything but free of bias.
I see.
So that's the Joey Reynolds hook there.
So kill the lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. Kill the lawyers.
All right, go ahead.
Let's do
this, and then you'll come and join us over there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Now, jurymen, hear my advice. All kinds of vulgar prejudice, I pray you set aside. I pray you set aside. With stern judicial frame of mind, from bias free of every kind, this trial must be tried. Oh, listen to the plaintiff's case. Observe the features of her face. The broken-hearted bride. Condole with her distress of mind. From bias free of every kind, this trial must be tried. And when amid the plaintiff shrieks, the ruffianly defendant shrieks upon the other side, what he may say you needn't mind. From bias free of every kind, this trial must be tried. Silence in court! Silence in court!
David Wannen. Oh, David, you got a panel of judges over here. Come on and join us.
So let's go see what they say.
We want to see your face.
No Simon Cowell's.
Now that's interesting, Jackie. Don't you love this kind of stuff here?
I love it. I love it.
Do you feel like you're on PBS and we're going to fundraise any minute now?
And call the phones right now.
Love Gilbert and Sullivan in it.
Keep the television the way you're supposed to keep it. We want you to continue with this great entertainment. For $750, you can have a tote bag and an attitude.
For $800, Joe, you'll sign it.
And NIGUS.org is a charitable arts organization.
So, David, that's great. You're very, I mean, every time you do the show, you know, which we mentioned we've done a few times, you always have that real, I don't know, I'm afraid of you.
Why is that?
There's something sinister about
Can
it.
I chop off your head or
I don't know what
something
the hell
like
it is.
that?
Angie, you agree with me on this?
Yeah,
I mean, you know, I wouldn't.
He goes into that evil face when he begins.
This is not what. This is Mephistopheles.
Oh, you should see his Mikado.
Yeah, that's the one that it really comes out as the Mikado.
Yeah, you have that way about you. Now, what about you, my darling? Where are you from?
I'm sweetness and light. I have no edge at all.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from South Carolina.
Kimilee was actually Miss South Carolina back in the day, correct? Am I wrong?
Yeah, back in the day.
Well, we can see some, I say some features, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Better than my car. It's a compliment. Yeah, I guess that's an up north compliment.
Where are you from originally then?
Yeah, don't ask.
Joey was Miss Buffalo.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been in New York for a very long time.
I wish I had Miss
I'm just as
Buffalo.
much a New Yorker as I am a
No, you're not.
Carolina girl.
Oh, you got into the theater where? Here or at school?
Down south. My parents actually met doing theater. My mom still has a dance school down there, and so I started there. And I came to school here, Manhattan School of Music.
Uh-huh. Well, you got into this refinement. You didn't jump into the trashy shows like I did, right? I mean, you're doing. Are you doing HMS and
I've done
Mikado
just
and all the
about
Gilbert and
all of
Sullivan
them,
things?
and I've done a couple of Broadway shows, and I do opera as well.
What'd you do on Broadway?
I'm on a leave of absence at the moment from the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, well. Did you see the 25th anniversary of Les Mis? Have you seen that yet?
I have not seen it yet.
That's a really great one, you know, with Cameron McIntosh.
Yeah.
He also did Phantom, of course. That's
Yes,
why I said that. In case
know,
you don't know, follow the libretto people. I had to learn all this crap.
Well, we just celebrated 23 years on Broadway. Not that I was there for all that time.
The
but
longest running show was, I think it's Phantom now.
Phantom is the longest. It's
and
unbelievable.
what a great show. You know, we were talking the other night. I'll bring this up. I don't know if it's appropriate, but Paul DeVere is a friend of mine, and Paul worked in the earlier days with some theater folks like Anthony Newley, and he also produced Soupy Sales. He's a good buddy, and we were talking about the problems with Spider-Man, and he brought up a very good point.
I saw it.
Now listen to what he said. This is a guy who fixes shows, but he was modest, and it was a throwaway line to me. I said, "What's wrong with the show? I really liked it. You know, I liked the spectacle and the dancing and everything. I love the craft of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get into the music too much. And he said, well, because it's a cartoon, it's a comic book, but they're singing serious love songs, and it doesn't match.
Yeah.
And it flashed on me. I was a big champion of the Dance of the Vampires with
Michael Crawford.
Michael Crawford, who was Phantom. And I said, gee, you know, that's probably what was wrong. They were singing garlic, garlic, and he's trying to be a romantic lead, and he's looking like Wayne Newton. You know, I mean, it was like the wrong deal.
Right.
And maybe we don't do well with double signals. Maybe that's what it is when we're watching a show. You know, and so here's my question now, a long way around. Gilbert and Sullivan, were they singularly focused? A comedy is a comedy, and
no,
they weren't.
No, they were. There was a universality to what they did, which is, I think, why it's still existing today. You have "I'll leave me not to pine" in one scene, and you have, you know, the policeman coming out when a felon's not engaged in another scene. You have both sides of the spectrum.
It's like a dramedy.
Like movies in the 40s could be a very serious movie, and they could be comic
really
relief.
funny one minute and really beautiful the next.
And they could go side by side. And now, you know, nowadays people just don't do that.
Who's this guy in the end over here?
Oh yeah, him. That's the tenor.
I play the defendant.
So you're just one of the players.
Exactly. Yeah, in more ways than one.
It's been nice talking.
He is the player of this.
Right.
Yeah. That's his whole character.
As the jury says, he's a what do they say? He's
You say yourself, you're a ruffian.
Ruffian. He's a good for nothing. In common parlance, he's a player. But he makes a promise to marry Angelina, and then he realizes that's not really what I want. I want to go do something else, and she objects to that. So
where are you from?
I'm actually a local guy. I'm from Westchester County, so I grew up in the New York area, and now I live in New Jersey. So.
Oh, so you bowl.
So what?
You bowl.
So I bowl, yeah. From time to time, yeah.
That's a Jersey thing?
When do we see the show? What's it called again? It's called what?
It's Trial by Jury, and it's this Sunday at Symphony Space this time around, up on 95th and Broadway.
Yeah. It's a nice theater.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful space.
They allow
it's been
smoking.
our home for a long time.
You can smoke there. You know.
Do they still?
Really?
No. But people will think it's okay and go there and get mad.
Excellent.
And you got another performance or two in you?
We have one more out of the season. We've done quite a few shows this year. We've done Utopia, Yeoman of the Guard, a whole run of the week of Mikado, and this is our fourth production, and we're following this with the GNS Sing-Along, which we're going to feature you on stage if you take me up on it and bring you along.
Follow
But
the
audience,
before.
yeah, exactly. It's like Gilbert and Sullivan karaoke, you know what I mean, with Joey Reynolds.
And with this,
Reynolds, are you singing?
You know I don't.
I think, Jackie, we got you doing Captain of the
Yeah, I was going to say, he's already given us a little
What?
cue.
Never.
No, hardly ever.
I love that stuff.
Well, very good.
Now we're going to go
Most writers do.
from this to the absurd. We got Paper Dolls and Burlesque coming up with Jeffrey Johns right after you guys.
I'm
clear
glad we
out of
didn't
here.
have to follow
But I want to make sure.
They're going to do a number. They're going to do the duet.
Are you?
If you'll have them.
We're going to have a little
If you
fight,
have
a
time,
little quick
we'd be
fight.
happy to do it.
All right, well, let's take a break first
Sounds
and
good.
figure all this out because, you know, I can't direct the show and still do it. You know, I haven't mastered that yet. Master of the house.
Back to a Cameron Macintosh and a Google. And
But I'm really glad to have you guys here, and I hope that the show does real well because it keeps the theater alive. You know, I love everything. I mean, I really do, unless it's done poorly. But
I told them you have a good eye for quality, Joey. You're into quality.
That's because I like you.
Yeah.
You're such a liar. All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm fitness celebrity Jennifer Nicoli. And if you're busy like me, then stay tuned because I'm excited to share with you the most innovative piece of exercise equipment ever.
Introducing the Ab Circle Pro, the fastest, easiest way to have the flat washboard abs and the sexy V shape you've always wanted.
Are you struggling to lose those love handles nobody loves? Now there's a machine so advanced, it targets your entire core, upper, middle, and lower abs, and even your obliques, all in one circular motion as it aerobically burns fat in just minutes a day.
The secret is the Ab Circle Pro combines cardio and abs to burn fat, while its unique friction-free track uses the momentum of gravity to target your entire midsection in a full circular motion, firing your core like no other machine has ever done. You'll firm and flatten your stomach in just weeks, not months. We guarantee it. Best of all, it's fun and easy and takes just 3 minutes a day. And watch this. Simply remove the pin, and the Ab Circle Pro becomes a fat-burning bun and thigh machine.
On the Ab Circle Pro, I lost almost 3 dress sizes in a few short weeks.
With the Ab Circle Pro system, I've now lost 60 pounds, I feel great, and I'm one hot mama.
And now, through this exclusive TV offer, the Ab Circle Pro can be yours to try in your home for 30 days for just $14.95. And if you call within the next 10 minutes, we'll send you Jennifer Nicole's complete Lose Your Love Handle system, which includes our 3-minute express workout and nutritional guide, absolutely free. That's everything you need to transform that body from flab to ab.
You have nothing to lose but inches, so pick up the phone and call now.
Call 1-800-709-1301 to try Ab Circle Pro for $14.95 plus shipping with credit card order. Call now for a free upgrade to priority processing so you'll get your Ab Circle system in 7 to 10 days or less. That's 1-800-709-1301. Call now.
Oh, it's amazing. I don't know how we got this far without having someone throw a brick through that window, but don't do it. Burlesque is alive. I love the movie with Cher, incidentally, which doesn't have anything to do with this, but she really surprised me with her. There's Jackie, the joke man, who surprised me, too.
Are we on the radio?
Did you like, you were on the television. Did you know the difference, don't you?
Sure.
What? It's about $100 an hour.
One is pitches. Not here.
Whoa! Did you see this girl over there? This is burlesque. Now that means they take something off as they do this. Jeffrey John's coming out.
Smoke that dress.
Well, you're gonna watch something here. I remember Siska and her live macaw, which now I was I was a young kid and we paid to see burlesque shows. We sneaked in.
And for an extra quarter.
And there was a macaw, which is a large bird that would undress
with a big bill.
The girl.
I used to work for him.
The bill would come later. But anyway, we've got this burlesque performance
She can't
tonight.
look, her hips are moving. As
Why don't we show her?
She's
And stop talking about this. Come on. This is burlesque. Let's go. Hit it, kids.
She will never be allowed to get married in America because American women are not allowed to move like that.
Well, they move like that until you marry them.
Could you? Yeah, exactly.
And again, in divorce court, they move like that. They do that for their lawyer.
What?
I don't want to sound cynical, but I am.
What? I kept moving over to adjust the What was that? Was unbelievable.
It was a little my Ed Sullivan moment. You know, I mean, I was having lunch with someone today who described me as being the Ed Sullivan of contemporary television these days.
You know what that was? That was an upside-down bobble doll. You know those bobble dolls where the heads go like that, except it was a bottom doll?
You ever spent any time in Hawaii? That's an aloha.
Yes, Tahitian dancing.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
You could do that?
Well, I didn't. My hips didn't move quite like that when I was 8. But I.
What about now?
Now, maybe if I have another bourbon.
Yeah. Want to go
to South Carolina? That's right. You know, a gal won Miss America doing that 2 years before I went to Miss
Doing
America.
the Tahiti?
Doing the Tahitian.
That's-
It's an
that's
art.
what
do you call it? Tahiti Mamba?
Tahitian
Mamba. Mambo?
Have you ever been to Tahiti?
I'm going right now
I'm
after the
going
show.
on my
Have you ever been?
honeymoon.
You guys been to Tahiti?
Never been.
Okay, I was on a ship, the Paul Gauguin, which is named
yeah.
after the wonderful painter from
Yeah.
Paris. And he had gone to Bora Bora, which is well named, and he had taken these paintings with these vivid colors and brought them back to Paris to make money. And they were gorgeous paintings of these women who were half naked.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wanted the paintings, but they wanted to know where the broads were. You know, they were more interested in the women, if you'll excuse the expression, than they
How
were.
did you take a discussion of women shaking their booties unbelievably
Tahiti.
and take the conversation to art?
Tahiti.
What are you
It is
doing?
an art. That's an art. What she just did.
No, I mean drawn art. I mean that was movement art. That was
Now we have some more coming up. We are ready. All right, now just when you thought it was over.
You don't want me to go do that dance?
See, aren't you glad? A lot of people got up to make a sandwich, and they're coming back to the set, getting in bed and saying, what the hell is this? So here we are now with more burlesque. Jeffrey John's going to come on and talk to us now. Betty Stage and Jeffrey are coming out together to get, I don't know how we mean that, but they're coming out. And here they are. Are they going to talk to us? Is that it? Oh, all right. I didn't know if they were going to talk to us.
Betty Stage is the
Dance
assistant.
again. I have no idea what
maybe
we're
we
doing
should-
tonight. I don't know who put this together. Well, whatever it is, it's a wonderful
I want to see
idea.
her costume. So.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
How are you?
Sit down. Join the crowd here.
Absolutely.
Hi, Betty.
Hi.
Stay where you
middle
are.
here, Betty.
Everybody. Well, why are you dressed
Put the
like
pretty
this?
girl next to Joey here.
Oh, over here?
There you
It's
go.
like a Playboy
Because-
thing.
Absolutely.
Maybe. It might be designed by Playboy.
Yeah.
It might be.
Well, it
is,
was a
actually.
bunny look. It was a.
Yeah, it's a magician's assistant. I'm the able assistant.
She is my ableist assistant.
I didn't know you were a magician.
Well, I do
Of
all sorts of
sorts,
things.
yeah.
Prestidigitation, isn't that what they call it? Is that magicians?
Since when did you do magic? I never saw you. I've seen you work with tricks. But I've never seen you do any magic.
Some said refrigeration.
Refrigeration?
Yeah, some of the
Tricks?
clothes. Some of the clothes come off. He might have something to do with
Absolutely. I don't take anything off, though. I know that that'll be upsetting to some of your viewers.
It's
but,
not fair.
It's not fair?
that. No,
Well,
but
I mean,
we do have a guy in the show every once
We
in
do
a while,
have a
just
guy.
to even
Yeah.
things out. Not tonight, but.
Well, it's funny because these guys over here to my left on television, they're on my right, but they're the people who are doing Gilbert and Sullivan, which is a little bit more of a sophisticated performance, right?
Maybe.
Easy.
Depending,
Yeah.
yeah. There's some,
Do
there's some
not
cross-dressing, perhaps.
disparage a magician. My great-grandfather was a magician, and he had a beautiful assistant, and he married his beautiful assistant, who was my great-grandmother. I remember her very well. I remember the day she died. I remember her casket with all the swords sticking in it.
I was wondering where that was. Now I know where that went.
Headlights on that.
So Jeffrey does the best Paul Lynde impression.
That's Bob. That's
I know.
Bob.
Bob and Jeffrey used to write material, and we would do a little Paul Lynde thing.
Yeah, it was
You know,
so
you remember
incredible,
Paul Lynde, right?
wasn't
From
it?
Hollywood Squares. Are you guys?
Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, they're in the right age bracket, though, but young.
Well, we're
but young.
theater people. We know
Theater
that.
people, yeah.
We know the old stuff.
But this, the thing about burlesque and what Betty was talking about is that there's a huge resurgence as an art. It peaked in 1954, right here across the street here in some place, and now it's back, and it's fabulous, and I get to see more naked ladies than anybody I know.
Well, I'm the Antichrist of burlesque. I put things on, and people applaud.
Well, they don't all take things off, so that's the beauty of it too.
Well,
There's
is burlesque,
variety,
isn't
yeah.
that a strip show?
Not exclusively.
No?
No.
Is
A classic burlesque show is a variety show.
Ah,
So
like
there's
this, here.
like what we're gonna exactly.
Yeah.
Like what you're
Titillating
doing.
is the word.
Yes.
Can you say that?
Half of that.
Titillating.
So you have a different kind of a performance on New York's Broadway than you would in some sleazy joint. No?
Absolutely, but
Yes.
actually every little act tells a story. Some of them can be involved with teddy bears. There can be tease services involved. There can be
Yoga?
tassels. There can be, what are the other things that fall off on the, Betty's job is really to pick up the
To
stuff
pick
that
the
comes
things
down.
that fall off or are taken off.
And what do you do?
I do the MC and I wear fine jewelry.
Yes, we're looking at that.
And he brings it all
love your
together.
ring.
It's
Isn't
all
it
about the
nice?
bling. Yeah, the girls glitter, so he does
It's
too.
very, I border on drag, Joey. I'm on the transition of going into drag, I think. But I'm the host. I'm the host of the show.
Well, didn't
Riding the
burlesque,
line quite heavily, I'll say that.
did burlesque sort of really come out of vaudeville? And
Absolutely.
vaudeville was, of course, a
Yeah.
lot of the short acts and
It started
comedians.
when, I think in the Victorian time, when showing an ankle was like hot.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Let
we
us take
show
off our leggings and stockings and paddle.
So we,
from
from
here.
Gilbert Sullivan
Right.
to vaudeville
There
to
you go.
burlesque.
Exactly. Slowly
Well,
taking
they
things off.
wear powder, don't you? The Gilbert and Sullivan guys, don't you wear it?
But so they do burlesque as well.
And the fops, aren't you wearing? You wear those tights?
Yeah, you wear all sorts of things.
Tights, fishnets. It's all very close.
It's very similar.
It's
yeah.
very similar.
It is.
And did you like Kaylani, our first, she was Tahitian. She was
You know, she's like my Aunt's lamp. I really wanted to like her.
She was great.
Yeah, and I like her.
She's Tahitian,
like,
and
hey.
she's from Tahiti, Queens, actually. So she comes directly from
Wow.
the F train or something.
She came across the water.
She did.
Are you guys doing a show tonight, too? Or you
Actually,
got
no,
nothing
we
on?
just did the Chelsea Hotel. It was fun,
On
wasn't it?
Thursday, it
Tell
was.
'em. Was it fun?
It was. We had 2 shows.
So what do you
Two
have?
shows
You
in
have
one night.
5 or 6 strippers or girls?
Oh my God, we had 20. We had 20. We had 9 in the final act the other night.
You have
9
some more
girls.
here?
We do have some
do?
more here. We do. We have two more lovely ladies.
You're upstaging the Gilbert and Sullivan people
Oh,
here.
no, they were terrific. What happened
You
to the
brought your whole
pianists,
troop,
though?
right? They're waiting. They're just
right.
just
We've got
all
the-
45.
we've got
All
sailors
45,
and
yeah, with the
pirates
wigs
and,
So who did you bring, Jeff? Who's
We
coming on
we
here?
brought Kiki, who is, I'm using cue cards because I'm getting ancient these days. But I put little stars on them for you. Did you see that? Isn't that nice?
Jeff,
Really?
I was back there 2 minutes. I know their names.
Of course you know their names.
You're using cue cards.
You got a limo out there waiting for them. What are you talking about
We're in
knowing
it right
their names,
now.
for
Come
Pete's
on.
sake?
You're
I'm
wasting
running an escort service in addition to the burlesque.
Ixnay. Kiki?
Kiki?
This turned into
None of it's
Lacage.
We have Kiki, who's the producer, Kirsten Lewis of the show. She's absolutely fabulous. And we also have Hazel Honeysuckle, and she's really delicious.
You know, this show went from Ed Sullivan to Uncle Floyd. What did I do? Where did I make my turn here? All right, let's.
I resent that. Uncle Floyd.
And I love Uncle Floyd. It's only a joke, Jackie. Take it easy. You're the joke man.
Oh, no, I was going to say it didn't get that low.
Who's Uncle Floyd? That's one obscure reference. I don't know. Who is that?
Uncle Floyd had a cult following television show about 20 years ago.
On UHF. Right?
Yeah, and he was very camp, and it was funny. Very,
Oh.
you know, like Pee Wee Herman came into the
Oh,
network
I see.
version of it.
Oh.
Pee Wee's back, you know. I mean, he's back on Broadway.
Yeah.
It was just right over
I
here.
just saw it.
And he's funny, you know, funny guy.
He's very funny.
Terrific routine with the furniture that lives and.
And Floyd,
Cherry,
Floyd
that's
is still
Cherry.
hysterical. Floyd's as
And
funny.
Floyd's
as-
great. Floyd
always been.
actually is a good stand-up comic as well, and his brother's very talented. Played with Conan O'Brien's band.
Jimmy Vivino.
Yeah, Jimmy Vivino.
In
All right,
Conan
let's go to the
Benders.
commercials here, and then we'll come
Alrighty.
back
Fab
and
Four.
And we'll
we'll
have
bring out the
Kiki.
rest of this entourage tonight.
Kiki? Kiki?
Bam's Auto Body, located on Liberty Avenue in Ozone Park, is a one-stop shop equipped with all the latest technologies to fix your car or truck right the first time. We work with all major insurance companies and specialize in collision, theft, and vandalism repair. Call anytime to check your vehicle status. Speak with our dedicated and knowledgeable staff. We offer a 100% written guarantee on all repairs and a lifetime warranty on all paint repairs. Bam's Auto Body. We'll get your vehicle fixed, no matter what.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC desktops and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
Jackie, sit down.
Thank you.
Twirly, twirly.
Jackie, sit down.
I'm going to go dance with Kiki. Christmas, it's cold in here.
The Paper Dolls Burlesque is what it's called.
Paper Dolls Burlesque, and we're at Paper Dolls Group on Facebook.
And here she is, the lovely Kiki.
Come da porta picchita va bene, se tu la parla miezza americano, quando si fa l'amore sotto la luna, come da bene in capo di I love you, papà l'americano. Palamericano. 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 Palamericano.
Kiki. The pressure's on. The people are watching you from outside the window there, and as you're dropping, they're gasping, going.
You know, there are lights too. Sometimes I
Paper dolls. All right, the burlesque. You see them when, Jeff?
On the 29th, we'll be back at Sway, March 29th, which is a Tuesday.
Okay, well, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And it's great to be surrounded by gorgeous women.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And a Liberace ring.
Absolutely. Isn't that terrific?
They don't go together. And oh yeah, Try by Jury.
Oh yeah.
Gotta plug that. I forgot,
yeah.
David.
The opera singers.
Yeah. No, the Gilbert and Sullivan Keepers of the Flame.
Yeah. Right.
You know, which is always. I mean, you do such a great job, and you travel the world with this thing. And I appreciate so much having you guys here tonight. Thank you.
I love being here. Thank you.
Symphony Space on Sunday.
5 p.m.
Yeah, and it's a nice early show, so you can go home and do whatever you want.
That's right.
You schedule it for you. You don't care about us.
Exactly. Dinner, get back to the kids, you know, the whole night.
Well, you're great. You're great. Thank you so much for being
Well, we're
here.
going to sing,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
You're going to do another song?
We're going to sing.
We'll take a break.
Another? We haven't done one
Okay,
yet.
all right. I just want to make sure everybody gets their full measure here. I got a little lost with the baton.
Yeah. As did the baton.
All right, in a moment, we'll have more moments. That doesn't make sense. That's like Ed Sullivan right here on our show. In another moment, we'll have a moment. Hi, I'm Joey Reynolds. I got a brand new show. It starts on television after about 14 years on radio on NBC's New York Nonstop. It's called All Night. That's when we're on. Between midnight and 2, Monday through Friday. And what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for, All Night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop. They call it the Barren Wasteland because his name is Joey Barren. You had to know that. It's a bad pun. All right, so David, we got the troupe up here now. The Gilbert and Sullivan lives through your great, I would say you are the Olympic torch carrier.
We are carrying the torch, for sure. It's one of the last repertory companies that exist even across repertoire.
And now that money is down in our government and we don't give money to the arts the way we used to, it suffers all across the world of entertainment.
And you have to reinvent yourself, which I understand you know something about. So.
Yeah, well, I'm Frankenstein. I've sewn a lot of old bodies together. Let's not go there.
Yeah, we have Kimilee Bryant and Cameron Smith, our lead tenor and soprano.
And what? The master of the house?
Yeah, no, trial by jury. Trial by
and
jury.
one of them was Miss South Carolina.
That's right, yes.
All right,
the good-looking one.
We're ready for you guys. Come on.
I love him with fervor unceasing. I worship and madly adore. My blind adoration is ever increasing. My loss I shall ever deplore. Oh, see what a blessing, what love and caressing I've lost, and remember it, pray. When you're addressing or busy assessing the damages Edwin must pay. Yes, he must pay.
I smoke like a furnace, I'm always in liquor, a ruffian, a bully, a sot. I'm sure I should thrash her, perhaps I should kick her, I am such a very bad lot. I'm not prepossessing, as you may be guessing, she couldn't endure me a day. Recall my professing, and you are assessing the damages Edwin must pay.
Yes, he must pay.
I'm sure I should thrash her, perhaps I should kick her.
I love him with fervor unceasing. I love him, I worship and madly adore. I love him, I worship and madly adore.
Yeah.
All right, so that's trial by jury.
You got it.
Okay,
You
we'll
got
see
it.
that at the Symphony Space on Sunday night.
Yes, thank you very much.
Do we get enough
Great
plugs
job,
in there
you
now?
all.
Do we
You
do it
did
yet?
very well.
Thank
Thank
God.
you for the
He's not really going to kick her.
Yeah, well.
Now
the judge says later, perhaps we should get him tipsy and try, see what happens.
Oh.
And then the judge ends up marrying her, and all is happy after.
Who happened to piano player?
Don't
This
give
is
away.
Andrea Stryker-Rodda, our
Yeah, there you go.
lovely assistant music director of the company. Yeah.
Andrea,
Yeah.
good to have you. Thank you. All right, you know, we could very easily turn this into a telethon. All we need is a tote board here.
And the phones and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Now, Jane Bernard is here tonight. Jane wrote Fine Tuning, for one thing. She's a very metaphysical young lady. She's very smart and has lived the life of recovery in many ways from this craziness called American lifestyle. And next to her is a guy who's lost 220 pounds. And Big Mike here, was no longer big, he's from New Jersey. And how many pounds did you lose? What was it?
220 to be exact. 220.
He was known as a kid from Brooklyn.
That's
originally.
right.
And we got a before and after picture here. Can we flash that up here? Now this is, well, Mike used to come and do the show on the radio for years, and he was a lot bigger, huge. Now you got that before picture, Joe? Do they have it? Oh, you got to find it. It's probably somewhere in our file. But you have done a great job with yourself. It's wonderful.
No sugar, no starch, sex 3 times a day. Chemical diet, that's it.
Wow.
Very simple.
And you have a very good attitude about the world.
I think the world's a great place. You just got to know how to live in it. You got to know how to play in it. That's it. Great place, the world.
You used to complain a lot about things. I guess you stopped doing that now.
Well, I complained about Charlie Sheen. I mean, you brought him up at the beginning of the show. If I was making $2 million an episode, I'd kiss your ass in Macy's window. Come on, give me a break. An episode. I kiss your ass in Macy's window every day, 7 days a week. If you gave me $2 million a show.
If I was making $2 million a show, I'd gain 220 pounds.
Don't say that. You don't want to do that.
No. So how can anybody complain about his life? He's having sex 3 times a day. Imagine if we found him a girl.
Chemical diet. Oh, hey, listen. That's no problem with me now. I'm trying to find a rich one. That's my problem.
Oh.
I'm trying to find one with a lot of cash.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Well, you've been here 10 minutes and all you talked about is making money. I guess you're on the wrong show. Now, did you meet Jane Bernard?
Very nice young lady. beautiful, charming.
Thank you,
He's
Mike.
got a few bucks, too.
Jane is working on an intuitive diet, as a matter of fact. I don't think you
I
have
am.
a book on that yet, do you?
Well, it's coming out this year, and it's about intuitive eating. It's really sensual eating. It's using your senses to connect with your body, and when you connect with your body, you connect with what you really want to eat.
So, David, what do you eat?
I'm kind of sort of into that whole, I eat when I'm hungry, I don't eat when I'm,
Exactly.
when I'm not. You know,
Eat
that
when
kind
you're
of thing.
hungry,
Yeah, yeah.
stop when you're full.
Yeah.
But it's hard for people who are serial dieters to connect with that. So I try to give them like really simple tools, like to use curiosity, to notice their body.
Listen to your body.
Listen
yeah.
to your body. Yeah, that's really important. And if you can listen to your body, you notice when you're hungry. And if you can notice when you're hungry, you know when you've had enough. But the thing about being satisfied is when you're satisfied, it's not when you're full. When you're satisfied, you've had just enough, which gives you room to enjoy other sensual pleasures.
Well, Jackie
like
here
sex.
lost a lot of weight, too. Jackie's,
Yeah.
I don't know if you
except
remember.
I listened to my body, and it took me to Virgil's for 19 pieces of fried chicken before.
You must have felt pretty bad after
No,
that.
I lost 55 pounds
you were
swimming
Uh-huh.
and riding the bike and not eating carbs and not eating
Exercise is a big
pizza.
part of it.
How crazy is it after a couple weeks with no bread? Bread looks like chocolate cake. Am I right? I mean, it's unbelievable.
An addiction, like anything else.
Oh,
Food is the worst addiction of them all. It's worse than drugs and
Yeah,
alcohol
but
put together.
Food is the source. Food gives you the foundation for everything you do in life. It's the source of all your energy and the source
That's
of all
what's
your
so
pleasure.
confusing about it, right?
Yeah,
Because
but you can also
it can
use
go
it
either
to
way.
have a great sex life. Because if you get into eating with someone you love and you really look into her eyes and you lick food and you touch it with your lips.
Very sensual.
Yeah.
Joey, sit closer.
I mean, think of the scenes in different movies, like in 8 1/2 with Kim Basinger in
Sure.
front of the refrigerator. He blindfolds her and he makes her stick out her tongue and he feeds her a strawberry and pours honey on her. I mean, food is sex. Really?
Tom Jones, remember?
Tom Jones, that great scene where he's licking the bone and she's like making love to an apple. But you know what really makes that scene sexy is that they're giving each other eye contact the whole time. And when you look into someone's eyes, it's so intimate. It's so sexy.
I know,
and
I
if
see-
you
I
look
see
into someone's
pastrami.
eyes while you're eating,
Forget
You want to go
about
for
you
ice
don't
cream,
really
Bernard?
care about you don't really care about food.
Did you ever see the Loved Ones?
No, I didn't.
That
Tell
was
me.
Rod Steiger years ago with a movie that was about this woman who was like 500 pounds and she could never get out of bed, and her son was addicted to her.
Uh-huh.
And he was a mortician. You know, he used to put smiles on people's faces in the morgue. I don't know if you ever, it was a very dark movie, but wonderful with Robert Morris. And the food addiction was so great because she would sit there, lie there on her bed all day and say, oh my God, watching television. A lobster would be a close-up of lobster. She said, they're using the large one, and get excited. But it was really true. I mean, you know, and there that other one with Dom DeLuise, Fatso. You ever see that one?
Very good movie.
Remember that one?
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah. You don't see these films. You don't
No.
see movies.
I see different movies, like I see 9 1/2, I see Tom Jones, I see Tim Papa, which is like the sexiest scene ever. It's these two lovers, and they're passing an egg yolk back and forth between their mouths while they're kissing. Without breaking it. And it's the ultimate of sensuality because it's
Behave
like
yourself.
vulgar.
Oh, this is a double take. I don't know something about
It's
it.
vulgar. It's positively vulgar, but it's food. And the thing is, food is really something we're supposed to enjoy with all of our senses, and we're supposed to let it relax us emotionally as well as physically, which leads to great sex. Because the best sex is when you're really relaxed and turned on, not when you like rush through dinner and have a couple drinks and then throw yourself into bed. Just can't compare to the real thing.
Well, Mike, has it changed your sense of humor?
Well, I don't think it changed my sense of humor. I think losing the weight that made me more healthier. That's what I think. From a guy that had to be in a wheelchair with 6 oxygen tanks in the house, I can run a marathon now, and I can have sex 3 times a day. So it changed my life in that way. It made me healthy. That's why I did it, to be healthy. I did it to straighten my life out, to be healthy. If I was 470 pounds now, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
So that's it. It was the worst addiction I ever had in my life, and I'm still an addict. I got to watch every day. And I tell people, as hard it is to lose the weight, it's 1,000 times harder. 1,000 times harder to stay there, to keep it off. Just because you lose it, the game ain't over. The game just begins.
It never
then.
stops. It never
Never
ends.
stops. 24 hours a day, I monitor what goes in this mouth. I have to. I got no other choice.
Are you hungry 24 hours a day?
Never hungry. I eat the right foods.
But why do you eat when you're not hungry?
It's an addiction. Why does a guy drink after he has 20 drinks? I mean, why does a drug addict take 10 more shots after he's stoned? It's an addiction. It's like gambling. It's the worst drug put on this earth is food. Food is a drug. To 99% of the people that are obese, the food is their drug. It's their heroin. It's their alcohol.
But it's crazy because I sit there with a piece of chocolate cake and I go, I hate the treadmill. I hate the treadmill. And if I eat this piece of cake, I know how much time I have to spend on the treadmill to counterbalance it.
3 hours.
But I'm going to eat it anyway because at some point you say, I'm going to live my life, damn it. You know, it's like, and it's a battle. If you care about the size of your body, every bite is a battle. And it's a pain in the ass, you know.
Never ends.
For years, it was just
never ends.
You know. Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Do you actually eat in bed when you're in bed with someone?
You can.
No, I mean, that's an interesting
That's a
thing. I wonder,
loaded
does anybody
question
do that?
coming
Is that
from you.
healthy?
To eat in bed?
Or to take dessert to bed with you? Or?
Well, if
If
you
it's
are you
fruit
take if it,
and honey, sure, why not?
Can you do it in a public restaurant? Can you sit there and...
you can, and that's even more fun because one of the
more
things
fun.
that
I gotta try it.
one of the things that makes it exciting about being at a public restaurant is that you can't do anything, so it's forbidden. So you get your anticipation builds, and the more you anticipate, the more turned on.
But it's so dark under the table.
You're supposed to do it on top of the table. But you know what's interesting is that just sharing, like on a simple level, just and it actually hits both sides here, is that just sharing a meal with your spouse is a nice feeling. Because it's like you're portion controlling. You don't need that much, but you're also sharing it together. You're ordering one entree. You know that's a good
and
feeling.
Another thing, if you think about when you sit down and you're having a meal, like what kind of sounds do you make? Oh,
sure.
Delicious, yum. You know what kind of noises? It's just like bedroom
That steak,
sounds.
it's too big.
Well, Jane, I never knew you to be so sexual and sensuous at the same time. And we take the yoga, you know, the Bikram yoga.
Yeah, we do it together.
Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
And I
You
see
pass
Jane.
the yolk?
No.
No.
Not that. We
You
see
lose
each
about
other.
a gallon of water at a time, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. But that keeps you healthy.
Yeah, and in shape.
But we never ate. I don't think I've ever eaten during a yoga class.
No, you'd probably be really sick if you ate during yoga class.
Well, we have a good relationship. We've been good friends, but I didn't know that she was into this whole food thing about when you're having sex. I never realized that.
Well, it's time to know.
I guess.
I never saw such a green light in my life.
Stay tuned.
You better move quick because the kid from Brooklyn's getting ready to pounce on
Kid from Brooklyn. You got to have some comments about something, Mike. Come on. You didn't retire.
Well, the only comment I told you about Charlie Sheen, and they flew me out to California to go on a Paul Rodriguez show about a month ago. And you know, it's a very funny thing. These guys were the cheapest bastards in the world. They put me on an airline jet screw. I knew right away I was in trouble because during a pre-flight announcement, they were saying the Lord's Prayer, and the only carry-on luggage they allowed on a plane was a Bible and a rosary. I knew I was in trouble right away. And let's not forget about the hotel accommodations. It made the Motel 6 look like the presidential suite at the Waldorf Astoria, for Christ's sake. And thanks a lot for the free lunch coupon, fellas, you gave me for the homeless shit in the corner, you rat bastards. I paid for my own lunch. So that's a story. That's a true story. They flew me out there to go on a Paul Rodriguez show.
Well, how was the
I
show?
mean, these guys were real cheap. Well, the show was all right. Paul Rodriguez is a nice fella. You know, old-time Mexican comedian. He was good, but I mean, the world's coming to an end. You know,
You're not going to say that about me after you leave here.
No, this is a high-class operation over there. Nothing but the best. Joey Reynolds show, nothing but the best. They number one.
I'll tell you
got it
one
right
thing.
from me.
When Joey moved from radio to TV, our wages stayed the same.
That's right. Maybe decreased a little bit.
Jeez.
So how do you like the TV thing as compared to the radio? We were on there all the time.
This is a first-class operation here. The only thing about this, you got to come dressed, you know. When you're on the radio, you can come like a schlepper. You can wear sneakers, dungarees, don't shave for 3 days. But over here, you got to look good. You know what?
Like
It's a nice operation.
Like you're doing Gilbert and Sullivan.
Nice operation.
Well, we lost weight just in time for his television.
That's
show,
right.
Right?
You know what? You look great, and you also are dressing wonderfully. I mean, you got. I'm going to compliment you. I know.
Well, that's the only thing I got's a wardrobe. The ex-wife got the rest of it. The only thing I got left is like $500,000 worth of clothes, which I'll never wear.
She wanted you to lose weight.
Listen, I did it for me. I didn't do it for anybody else.
But you lost her.
I lost her because I lost the cash.
Was that the 220 pounds was the ex-wife?
Once the money went, she went. That's it.
Oh, man.
Once the cash goes, fellas, that's it. Say goodbye.
Well, if you want to know more about the... Mike, what's your site now? Is it
kidfrombrooklyn.com.
Yeah.
The Kid from Brooklyn.
Great stuff.
Jane over here,
Great
Jane
stuff.
Bernard, by fine tuning. It's all these wonderful sayings. It's one after the other. There's a dozen of them. Read one of them to us.
I opened up a
just for the
page.
second. Just go ahead. Put your glasses on. Don't
I have
be
to
ashamed.
put my glasses
It's
on.
okay.
So, okay.
And read one. Just pick something at random.
All right, pick something at
I
random.
have this in the bathroom, and I.
Right. Joey keeps it in the bathroom
Yeah.
because fine tuning keeps you connected with your intuition. Yeah, this is one.
And my affirmations.
Right.
I do that every day. I'm
Right.
serious about it. Pick one
It
out. Go
says,
ahead.
the only way to predict your future is to create it. When you tune into your sixth sense, suddenly you expect the unexpected.
And did you hear what I'm calling myself now? Instead of, you know, I don't know whether to be I'm not a journalist. I'm not a stand-up comic. I'm not.
What are you?
I'm a news proctologist.
That's original.
I figure I give myself a good. Well, look at Jackie just staring at me like, what?
I'm a Presbyterian.
A Presbyterian?
You throw me up on the roof, I'm going to stay there.
All right, we're gonna end the show tonight. Thanks, Dave. Thanks
thank
again.
you. Thank you for
We're gonna
having
end
me.
the show
spin
with
on
this
things.
You are
burlesque
beautiful.
paper dolls.
You are beautiful.
And Jeffrey Johns brought them for us tonight. Where are these guys?
The burlesque.
Oh, we're gonna take a break first. Okay, because I was wondering where they are. I don't see anybody in front of me. I'm wondering if they showed up.
Is this a commercial for the film White Irish Drinkers that's opening up March 25th in New York, Los Angeles, Boston, and Toronto?
I wasn't thinking of that, but you know.
The movie you're gonna be in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Six
you know,
words, not 5.
I understand it's a great film, and you have 6 words in it.
Not 5.
We'll be right back.
When New York celebrities have something to say, they head for the stoop.
This is my stoop. I gotta come to the stoop.
Talk Stoop.
I feel like we're so close that we could kiss. This is a whole other kind of stoop.
It's where Kat Greenleaf gets people talking.
What? Really?
Yep.
That's amazing. Yes. Listen, Naked. Do you mind if I call you Naked? Tell me something good.
The best of New York on a stoop in Brooklyn.
The celebrity butts that have graced the stoop.
Talk Stoop, weeknights at 8 on New York Nonstop. Sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
All right, we're going to end this thing with the paper dolls and the burlesque show, which we began with tonight. I wish you'd start taking things off, though. I mean, it'd get a little more exciting. Let us smile over your umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain. If we don't have a chance to say goodnight to you, it's because we've been censored by the wonderful NBC censors. Jackie the Joke Man, thank you very much for swearing tonight.
I love it here, Joey.
And thank you, Mike, for swearing tonight.
Thank you very much.
Jane Bernard, thanks for the spiritual shot.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I really appreciate David tonight, too, for telling me that I'm an old man. What did you say, something about my thing?
Oh, you mean you're such a disagreeable man, and,
Yeah.
and you can't think why.
I've got pins in me.
I thought I heard cantankerous.
Here's the paper dolls.
In the spring, when the feeling was chronic and my caution was leaving me flat, I should have made use of a tonic before you gave me that. A mental deficient, you'll grade me. I've given you plenty of data. You came, you saw, you slayed me, and that is that I'm a sentimental sap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will, you have made you kill, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm just like an apple on a bough, and you're gonna shake me down somehow. So what's the use? You have cooked my goose, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm so hot and bothered that I don't know my elbow from my ear. Suffer something awful every time you go. It's worse when you're near. Here am I with all my bridges burned, just a babe in arms where you're concerned. So lock the doors and call me yours, because you took advantage of me. Took advantage of me. Advantage of me.
There are 13,000 cabs in New York City, but there's only one that pays you. Climb into the Cash Cab, and I'll quiz you all the way to your destination. As the meter clicks, the questions get harder, and the stakes get higher. If you get stumped, you can shout out for help on the phone or off the street.
Can you come here for a second?
But be careful, because in this rig, it's 3 strikes and you're out. So what do you say? You in?
You get flakes falling down here. You're looking at Route 17 here in Orange County. And, well, what can I say? Drivers be warned. This area is actually under a winter weather advisory. The Office of Emergency Management here in Orange County let everybody know last night, along with Mike Woods, by the way, that this was coming. They got set up in their command center. They've got snow plows on the ready. It doesn't really look like they're going to need any of that. It's not sticking too badly to the roads just yet. But you know what? This just started. It has been wet all morning when we were driving here, and there still could be more to come. Here's what they had to say at OEM.
I hope this is the last bit of snow we get for the season. We've been preparing all day with our partner agencies and our local governments in order to respond to any challenge that this storm may present.
So, you know, it's actually very pretty out here, and just to show you, I'm going to do a little swipe. This is basically the kind of accumulation we have on a cold surface, about maybe 1/8 of an inch at this point, but it's still coming down pretty hard. So stay in touch with me. Dick and Heather, back to you.
All right, when we get you, you'll have another coat on when we come back a little later. Thank you, Ty Hernandez.
Stay warm out there and dry.
Snow, unbelievable. Well, to other news now, the 5th body found near Gilgo Beach is not that of a missing prostitute from New Jersey. Suffolk County Police say the family of Shannon Gilbert has been notified that forensic testing has ruled out the possibility that the remains are hers. Identifying the new victim could take weeks. The remains were found about a half-mile from where the bodies of the 4 women were discovered back in December. Investigators have no suspects and believe a serial killer is at work.
An 11-year-old boy is charged with a hate crime on Staten Island.
Yeah, his father is speaking out, claiming his son is actually the victim. It happened at the Dreyfus Intermediate School in Stapleton. Osmond Davis is accused of punching a 13-year-old girl in the face before trying to rip off her Muslim headdress 2 months ago. Davis is also accused of verbally harassing her over the past several weeks. Outside of family court yesterday, her father, Frank Davis, argued that Osmond is actually the one being bullied in the school and that he would never do something like this.
There is no way he could do something like that because number one, he's Muslim. Number two, he being around his cousins, and all of his cousins Muslim, we have veils.
The DOE would not comment on the case since it's under investigation. Osman's father says he plans to send the boy to live in Africa with relatives.
An interesting twist, though, on being charged with a hate crime, because the little boy's father says it can't be a hate crime because he, too, is Muslim. So an interesting debate may arise out of that one.
Absolutely.
Okay, on to other news now. Following a special election in White Plains, New York, a new mayor is chosen there. Democrat Thomas Roach swept the competition yesterday. He raked in 52% of the votes. He's stepping into former mayor